Like there's zero options, right? And maybe at a lower level, just positioning in the midfield right here is good because a position is a threat. But at this level, no one's afraid of you because they know you have no options. You have no options. And like, this is my issue with the gameplay and that question. Like, what do we do when we don't have the ball, we can't solo play, and we just have to position? Like, what do we do? Like let's make it more valuable. And option one is like easy. You're just like, we are going to look at a rank A scrim. And for those who don't know what rank A is, there is something called Rocket League 6-Mans, RL 6-Mans, which has an outside the game ranking system by letters. I want to say there's rank E, rank D, rank C, rank B, rank B plus, rank A, rank X, rank S. Rank S being pro. I want to say rank E might be champ 1 or diamond 3. So this is a rank A scrim, but Anthony's the only B plus player in the lobby. But we can call this rank A, which rank A, like for our rank equivalents, I would say rank A is top 100. I felt outpaced, but also haven't played much this week, at least 3s. No worries, man. We'll see what's going on. Anthony said he was outpaced. I will see first if that's indeed true. Or if he looks fine. I've now had a couple weeks of watching Anthony play, so I have an idea of his playstyle. I almost wish we egoed that ball. That's fine. We just haven't found our place in the match yet. This was the ball I wish we egoed. It's like you definitely, like, it would have been risky, but like I always like to pose the question, what risk do you want to play? Do you want to play a fake challenge with 29 boost, or do you want to just ego as a third man and just get a 50, right? But faking does allow time for teammates to get back. So like the fake is the smarter play, but we'll see how this progresses. It's almost like momentum and play timing is the bigger thing going on, which maybe that's why you said outpaced. Let's take a look at that. I'm already going to like raise the question for myself. Are we getting to a position too quick, killing our momentum, and it's messing up our play timing? Are we too focused in the midfield, which is messing up our play timing? Which affects like how we play the ball, how we challenge the ball, hesitation, all that stuff. Good. Good. There we go. Finally got into the game. Like finally took, it was a little awkward, but finally took a challenge. And we're looking, so yeah, like notice how like you finally take a challenge, now you get your demo, now you're flowing. That's fine. That I wish that was our ball. Good. Get boost. Rotate. Good. Momentum. Good. Really glad we did that. Man, it's yes, outpaced is a way to describe this, but and it's definitely the problem, but the bigger problem is like positioning and momentum and play timing. And I have like a way I like to fix that with players, but it's not fancy. So I'm going to let this play before I last resort to it. Good, good, good. It's like, man, we pushed out a rotation and we're nowhere. This was kind of sketchy, but good. Like good play timing. So it's almost like we need more moments where we just barely get there. Because the good in this replay was like the demo. That first challenge we took, that was a little bit awkward. That it's like, oh man, we somehow were able to adjust with the flip. And then this right here where it's like you're barely there, able to get it. That's when Rocket League feels good. That's what play timing is. I feel a little autopilot as well going on, which ties into everything with position, momentum, autopilot, awareness. I said, what was the question I said before? What risk do you want to play? Like, why are we rotating back right now? Right? Like, overcommit, one-on-one. I'm not saying you need to push for a bump right here. But, like, why are we rotating back to stack with a teammate, which is, like, the initial rotation? I think we're going to curl mid, which is good. But, like, that's the autopilot, the awareness. And again, gonna let this play, but with this play specifically, it's like, okay, maybe you don't want to take that and like be annoying here. I could picture some players, like if they're reading the play and they know their teammate's going to control this, and if somehow they don't, they know that this guy's going to pick it up and control it, right? Because these guys are here. So if this player loses, then he gets control, open space. I've seen some players push for that, like double whammy on, okay, this dude's in a one-on-one, let's further take advantage of it, which is just hard to read in game. But let's say you don't want to go down that extreme, bump that player so that if this player does win, he has an easier job to create offense. You know, bump this player or drive at the player. Just make their job a little bit harder to like take advantage of this one-on-one. Notice how they're not even looking. Like this player had no awareness. That was a free demo. So I'm just kind of describing the plays, and then we're going to get to the midfield and be out of momentum, right? And this is like that awkwardness. And I think we're about to score, which is good. But like this is the bigger problem going on. Like we're not playing for the right risk. We're almost, I don't know if I would say turtling, but we're playing very, very safe. We're having play timing issues. And then that's like causing this like loss of momentum play, which that shouldn't have been in the net. And what happens when you sit like this is Taibu, who gets demoed. But when you sit right here, you're demoed. You know that. Happens so many times each game. Not your game, but just in Rocket League. You sit in the midfield, you're dead. But even like my issue with it is like, let's say this dude did pass to you. This is kind of a tough shot when you have no momentum. What I'm doing right now is just trying to describe the problem. It does fall into that outpaced comment, but I want to start thinking about more play options and how to address it. That was good. We just moved a bit more in the midfield. That was a good beat right there. And I like that we didn't panic jump for this, or like try to stretch this play right here. I guess panic jump's not the right word, but I like that we didn't force this. I think like not the bigger question that's in my head right now, but like a side question is, what do we do when we can't play the ball? And the answer for you and your gameplay is what you do is you just sit. You just position. And this is kind of funky, but I feel like we need to be a little bit more proactive off the ball. Not your typical like push out of rotation demos, which does help with play timing, but it's more of, okay, teammate has the ball and is solo playing. What can we do? Or teammate is challenging the ball and we're playing a second or third man in the midfield and we can't play the next ball. What do we do? Do we just sit? Like, I feel like we result and always go to the sit, which you never want to sit in this game. You always want to move. So I'm going to try to like, so like there it is again. And like, that's the outpace, the awareness, like you're just not reading the play properly. And I'm just going to break down tons of options. It's just, that's where you're at as a player. I swear we've talked about this before about, yes, part one is mechanics. Like you need to do more with the ball, but the other part is game sense. That kind of separates maybe rank A, rank X and risk. And it's like, okay, we're playing a two-man midfield right now, two-man cut into midfield. Right? And we have a third. You need to have awareness of what this player does, because if they start pushing, you need to leave. Duh. But like, you're sitting here, and when you position or rotate, you need to ask yourself, what are you positioning or rotating for? At this level, being rank B plus, rank A, top 100, around there, definitely SSL and up, I see no options, because Taibu is not going to hit this mid. Taibu is not going to throw the ball away. Like there's zero options, right? And maybe at a lower level, just positioning in the midfield right here is good because a position is a threat. But at this level, no one's afraid of you because they know you have no options. You have no options. And like, this is my issue with the gameplay and that question. Like, what do we do when we don't have the ball, we can't solo play, and we just have to position? Like, what do we do? Like let's make it more valuable. And option one is like easy. You're just like, nope, that looks ugly. I don't want to be here. If I do get an opportunity to play the ball, it's going to be challenged. Like there's no opportunity, and you just rotate out and let this dude cycle up and be able to hit a midfield challenge with momentum. Or more aggressive, and I'll try to give you versions of this, continue momentum and bump the net. And you don't need to chase this player into the net. You don't need a demo, but you just drive and then track that rotation out. And that's like similar to the play before that I broke down in the midfield where I was saying bump the midfield or push for a demo or push for a boost. This is tough, but the question is like, what do we do when we can't do anything? Like, how can we still be productive in a play that adds into the overall team play? With game sense, like it's just tons of examples. There's no, I just gave you a couple options. There's no right way to play. There might be a more efficient way to play, but you know, picture like you just drive at this player right here. You're just causing more panic. And all you're doing really when you drive for a demo, you're tracking a different rotation. That's it. Don't associate like driving for a demo with getting the demo. It's just, I'm rotating this way. If you're in my way, I'm going to demo you. If not, I'm just going to rotate out, get here. So I'm going to keep showing examples because like that's, in my opinion, how players learn game sense the most. So that was good job keeping momentum. We stopped a little bit right here. We did dodge the demo, which is good. As to why we stopped, I get that. That's why you stopped. And then you just kind of, right, it's that question again. It's okay, we're in the midfield. We don't have the ball. What do we do when we don't have the ball? And we can't play the ball. Like, we can't play that shot. You just drive through. And then depending on what you and your teammate are reading, this player can cycle this way and kind of fill that 2-man, and you could cycle this way. Or you guys can both rotate back, and somehow this player found his way over here, and you cut, and that's another option. But it's more of this kind of flowy rotation, not getting obsessed with the play in front, but just kind of prioritizing the bigger play, the macro play, the rotation, the way your team is holding pressure. So I'm going to keep showing examples. We're going to fall into the position again. I know we will. Let's see what we do. Right? Because like you should know right now when you're playing, like, or you need to know this, you need to develop this game sense. Like, yes, you should be pushing, but you should know that there's nothing here because you play at a high level. So let's see what we do. That's fine. Like, that's an option, right? Cutting that as the second man. Option, teammate doubled, which is fine. Depending on risk tolerance, you could steal this, but then you're probably stealing this player's recovery boost. You could just stay grounded in the midfield, and you could cut like you did. This is fine. I know we doubled, which is not pretty, but we have to sit. We have to position. We're on defense. That's fine. Notice how like a lot of our challenges break down when we sit. Good. And every time we do something, it's either a demo or it's good play timing. And that's why I'm like trying to address this play timing thing, but I kind of like tackling it indirectly via kind of, it does fall in this off ball category, but it's more so, what do we do when there's no play? What do we do when our teammate's solo playing? Very good. Very creative. Good job. Nice try. We do struggle to like take 50s like after someone egos us, but that's minor. That was a good demo play. I'm not going to tackle this, but it's another issue. It's 50-50 quality and like egos, like literally ego challenges. Like you just don't look confident. It's like 50-50 quality in that you're baiting someone to dive you, but then ego challenging in that you're throwing yourself at the ball. Like we're in between both and we're just not taking confident 50s. That's just miscellaneous. Like observation, you're a good player, you could work on it. It's the straightaways that we struggle with. And I don't know if it's like it ties into momentum where like you could see how we kind of stop and start a little bit right here. And that's the hesitation, and it like ties into this bigger topic we're talking about. Or if it's like we need more creative pre-jumps, more creative ego challenges, or we need to fake more, but I don't want to go down a fake route. I just know it's a problem. Just want to let you know as like another trend. And like the bigger trend is like, okay, when we play super fast teams, that's when we get shut down. That was good. And like this, I'm going to show the opponent right now, but this is something like you could look for too. I love these bump plays where it's this player is in a position where, okay, they can't play the ball again. They could rotate out, but they're being proactive off the ball, bumping being the easiest thing. But I like what this player did, just kind of drive through, look for bump, rotate, steal, boost. I think you could do that both like on transition and in this offensive midfield, or find little extensions to corner to have like a third man cycle up or something. Just being a little bit more proactive with our movement and what we do off the ball. I want to avoid this. This is not bad. Okay? Like it's an option. That's what I always like to say. What you did is an option. This is not bad, but we do it too much where we're just found sitting second, third. And then it's like it's affecting the bigger picture read on the play. So like, what can we do here differently? Just to bump. I don't know if it's like cycle out as another option. It's like when you're found sitting as a second, third, it's pushing for demos, stealing boost, or just stealing boost, or cycling out for mid quicker, playing a deep third. Maybe like you can mess around with deep third a little bit, or deep second, or just more cycles out to a third man. It's like we get drawn up and baited, not just for this play, but it's happened a lot. And then we either get counterattacked or demoed. And like if you think about like defensive midfield cuts, when you cut on defense, like if you're just sitting here and the ball comes to you, this player's going to cut you. Right? So it's just not a good position, not a good meta position altogether. Find ways in your own play style to maintain momentum, keep movement. That is the root of the outpace. Good. Nice try. Same sort. We just get stuck. And I would throw in egos. You need to mess around with your risk. You need to mess around with your risk. The risk of how we rotate and push off the ball, push for demos, steal boost, and the risk with how we challenge. Like you default to the position, you default to the fake. We'll sometimes dive, but we just don't look confident. And overall, I mean, you kept this to 1 goal. I know you said you're coming off a break, so it's not bad. It was a good 50. But I think this is your Rocket League bad habit. Nice try in this kickoff. It's a good move. That was a good move. If you're going to score, it would be off that. Anyways, I'd leave it there. I try to take a lighter approach to higher level players. Here's the problem. Here are some solutions. Make your decision.